Blessed School in Beirut ist etwas ganz Besonderes. Vor 150 Jahren wurde sie von englischen Missionaren als Blindenschule gegründet und immer noch ist der Schwerpunkt, blinden jungen Menschen die Teilhabe an der Gesellschaft zu ermöglichen, zum Beispiel indem sie lesen und schreiben lernen in der Brailleschrift, indem sie ermöglicht bekommen, sich mit anderen auszutauschen und zum Beispiel Zeitung zu lesen. Hier an dieser Schule wurde die arabische Version der Braille, der Blindenschrift entwickelt. Heute wird dieses Ziel mit ganz modernen Methoden am Computer zum Beispiel verfolgt. Aber darauf baut das andere auf. Die Angebote des jungen Teams für Menschen, die Gewalterfahrung gemacht haben. Junge Menschen, die mit Autismus oder anderen psychischen Störungen hier aufgenommen werden und zum Beispiel in der Werkstatt lernen, ich kann was, ich bin was und ich bin in der Lage, etwas Gutes herzustellen. Wie das funktioniert, wie das junge Team solche Integration bewältigt, haben wir die Schulleiterin Linda Macktaby gefragt und noch dazu, wie sie es ein Jahr nach der großen Hafenexplosion geschafft hat, ganz frisch renovierte Schulräume anzubieten.
Linda Macktaby, so many fresh renovated rooms, so many nice looking classrooms, but you had the blast here August last year. How did you manage?
First, when the blast happened, I immediately came here. I was in Beirut, so I came to the school to see what happened, especially that I have two blind students living in Blessed. So when I came, I wanted to make sure that they are safe first. And actually it was hot that day, so their window was open. So this is how they were safe, because nothing was destroyed. The glass was not destroyed because it wasn't a closed room. Everything in Blessed was closed, so definitely even the doors were destroyed.
You still have pieces of glass in the wall?
Yes, not on the lower side because our students are here. On the upper side and on the closets, actually. The newest closet that we have. The glass is still there. We're going to fix it. We're still fixing many things here. But it's also part of the memory that this place has carried. We try to clean everything, but then you find a small corner that has this memory of that day. I still hear the explosion in my ears. I still hear it. And I was very worried that it's going to be a catastrophe at Blessed, because we're very close to the port. So when I came here, glass was everywhere. Everywhere. And imagine two blind students trying to walk, and I was just shouting, don't move, because they will be walking on the glass. On the doors that were destroyed into pieces, wooden doors, iron doors, everything was destroyed. So the image is different, but we had a lot of friends who helped us from abroad, not from the Lebanese government. We didn't find any help so far at all. But from outside, we had many churches who really know Blessed and the spirit of Blessed and the mission and message of Blessed. And they immediately contacted us. All of the glass was cleaned the next morning, of course. But then we had to think on how to start again. And then our friends were contacting us. We knew what happened and we want to support. So many churches supported us, thank God, from Europe and from America. And this is what allowed us to open now again, or else we would be closed, because up to now the Ministry of Social Affairs is not able to pay us our money that they owe us for 2-3 years now, and we still have our staff, we still have the payments to do, and I still have to fix the place. So this is how our friends helped, and they said, we're here and we're ready, and do not worry. And I believe in the Lord's message through them.
How long did it take from the day after the blast till you could reopen and start with an ordinary teaching session?
It's not that we were closed because of the blast. We were closed because of COVID, and because our kids have special cases that we cannot risk their lives. So we have kids who have batteries in their hearts, for example. So it's not a joke to us. We have to make sure that everything is safe, and this is how we were planning, that when we fix the school, and then after when we do the trainings to the staff, to the parents, and when we do the meetings with the ministry to make sure how safe we could be with them, and then the economic situation that happened that forbid us from even having fuel for the buses to move. We managed to open, but with a lot of limitations. So we lost some of our students who had to go to other places, closer schools to them, because we couldn't afford transportation. But as for Blessed, it was fixed after about maximum 6 months. Everything was fixed.
And now, how are you dealing with the COVID situation? Is it possible to have ordinary school life?
We're having ordinary school life. We don't have more than 3-4 students per class. And if anyone is sick or has fever, they go immediately home. We cannot risk anything. Even those on board, we try to take care of them also, that they are not sick. And if we suspect on anything for the staff or for the students, we ask for a PCR test.
How many students are living here?
We have around 16 students living here now, and in total we have about, with the visually impaired students, we have about 72 students.
So you have students which are impaired by different reasons. How does it work to include them all in a, well, say, school family?
Well, this is actually a school for the visually impaired students, and it's the oldest in the whole Arab, African and Gulf area, 152-53 years old. So it was founded in 1868. So we do not want to cancel this section. We don't have a lot of students who are visually impaired. Now those who are visually impaired, they go to schools and universities, and we encourage them because they can. We don't want them to go to a school that is like just for the blind. No, this is not what we want. We want them to be with others, and we encourage that a lot. But those who are older and they need an activity and they need to do something and they need to work, this is the place for them, where they work in cane, where they learn how to type on the braille, how to read the braille. And so this is a school for the visually impaired. Later on, like about 21-22 years ago, we started the section for the special needs who have autism, Down syndrome and mental retardation. And that is when we started bringing students, and it started growing because those small kids are staying here and receiving more students, and then they're growing here, and it's getting bigger and bigger every time. Although the school is small, but our heart is big, so we have a lot of kids, more and more every year, and we welcome them. Lebanese and international kids. We have kids from Syria, from Palestine. Sometimes we have from Morocco. Like now, I have an application for a kid from Morocco. They hear about us and they want their kids to be in our school, and we teach the Bible every day.
You are yourself, you're not a studied school director. You're coming as a theologian. How does that work to come from this side of life?
Well, I'm a psychologist, but I'm a theologian, and to do this mission, you don't need a book. You need the heart and the relationship with God. It doesn't need a book. It doesn't need someone to tell you. I studied psychology. What I studied, I didn't use any with the students here. Each case is different and each interaction is different, and they teach you how to interact with them. So this you cannot learn from a book or from a university. You get from this one-to-one relationship that you have with them. That's it.
So I see you are learning yourself every day here at this school. It seems to me a development process even with yourself.
Yeah, you grow with them. You grow with them. And I mean, in your thinking, even with the projects that we don't do any regular project. Like last year, we were on the streets on Christmas, singing and distributing gifts for street kids and singing Christmas songs and enjoying our Christmas day together. We do a lot of projects that help others, not only ourselves. We think of others. And what we're trying to do is to show the community that they are added value and that they are not tools for begging. So what we do projects. For example, if an ex-church would like to donate money, I would say, let's create a project that our kids with your kids would be doing together, that others would benefit and we would benefit at the same time, and then this is also a benefit for the donor because they are interacting. Being a passive giver is something negative, even though it has the word giver. You need to be an active giver, and I have to be an active recipient, not a passive recipient, like I'm receiving your donation and putting them in the bank or using them for salaries, for example. No, I have to do something also for others. So it's an interaction where we're both active, not only for ourselves, but for the community itself also. And let's go wild, let's do something crazy. This is what we like to do here. It's not about this small project that we would go and sing and then people would buy some of our baskets or mosaic work or wooden work. No. It's about how creative, special, and interactive they would be when they are representing themselves. That you see them shining and you cannot even say that they are weak, because they are not. We're weaker than them. We're weaker because we label them and we say, well, they cannot work. Well, we have proof that they can work. We have sent many of our kids and they had jobs in a bank, not with take coffee and bring coffee and clean the table. No, data entry on the computers. Our kids, data entry on the computer. Another a student is working as a caregiver in a kids center. She was a student here. One of them is working as a cashier at Burger King. So she's dealing with money. So why do we always have to see them as a burden? Actually, they make me see God every day in different ways.
I see you're using a real network to get your students into the society.
Yeah.
Who's your support group?
Well, I have a lot of friends, local and abroad, religious, political, with friends with small jobs or with big companies. I ask them to visit, and then they ask me, let's do something for this place, because they do it. When they visit, they live what I'm saying. If I just go and tell them, it's not helpful. They have to visit, they have to see, they have to witness. If they felt it, they would do it. If they didn't feel it, I wouldn't force anyone to do anything for here, because we're not begging. We have positive, added value people who would bring joy to the place they are in. Do you want to have that in your place? Then you're the lucky one.
You are, so to say, a three-folded professional. You are psychologist. You have studied at Nest,
Yes.
so you are a theologian, and you are also a preacher, which
Yes.
is another pillar of your life.
Yeah.
So how do you think about your future? What would you like to emphasize in, say, this year, next year?
Well, my future is everything related to growing with others. And growing is in different ways: religious, economic, social. When we go and play, we're growing with others. So I would see that in like 2 years, I have a plan for homophobe and Blessed School, because I'm director also of another, interim director of another place that's called Homophobe, who deals with kids who come from abused areas. So I see that we will have a very big playground that they are working in when they are 18, and that they are receiving others and helping others, and at the same time that they have a job for them. I see that I'll be preaching or a pastor in a church. I see that I will be moving Blessed School from this area to a bigger area where our kids will have a bigger space for them, so that they really can run, and if they want to run, because the place is very small here. And my life is dedicated to be with the other. So whatever this will mean, I'm ready. If it's challenging, if it's not challenging, I pass.